Hello, happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to our Mosaic Minute. I'm Kristen Sadler, our president and culture warrior here at Mosaic. And I am so excited to introduce this topic for all of you that are listening. Ian's been with Mosaic here for a little bit and specialized in the L&D space. And so I'm so excited to have this expert come and share some of what he's hearing and seeing in the market as it relates to training, especially around your UKG system. So we're going to jump right in and get started. Ian, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, tell the audience a little bit about your background, and then we'll jump right on in.
All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity to be on here today. My name is Ian Palmer. I'm the training consultant manager here at Mosaic. I've been here for coming up on 2 years, but I've been in the learning and development space for just over 9 years as an L&D professional. And some of the great things of past life that I've been able to help and bring to the Mosaic team is just seeing the growth of people from being not necessarily being scared of a product or of a new system or of a change that's happening in a company to then feeling comfortable very quickly without and making that downturn time of, man, I am scared. Am I losing my job? I don't know what to do. Is someone going to replace me? To, you know what? This is easy. This makes my life easier to do. And now I feel I can be productive in my work. But I've enjoyed it for 9 years, and I want to keep doing it for hopefully another 20 to 30 years.
I love that. And if you wouldn't share too, what brought you to Mosaic?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. So been in the space for 9 years, was brought on by a fellow Mosaician, Kim Patterson. We had worked together in the past about 9 years ago. She had gotten me into this field. I was introduced to another great Mosaician here, Dave First, at that same company 9 years ago. And as their journey and their careers moved on and continued on with different companies, when they came to Mosaic, they came to me and told me about this great place to work, an opportunity to really grow a learning and development training department that wasn't available yet, wasn't really huge of where they wanted to take it. So I jumped at the bit, like, you know what, put me on, let's do this, see how much we can grow.
I love that. And it just speaks volumes. Even just 2 years ago, Mosaic was looking forward and listening to our clients and seeing what the market really wanted and needed. And what we heard from our clients was this need for just overall adoption of the tool, overall adoption of some of their change practices. But really what they wanted was their team, their HR, their payroll teams to fall in love with this system that they've just invested in and to really optimize it. And a part of that is even knowing what to do, how do you use it, how do you roll it out to your team, what's the train the trainer approach. And so as we really looked at our launch methodology, as we really listened to again our audience, our clients, we heard this want and this need for true customization of the training. And so that is something that Mosaic's been working on for years now, which is so exciting. But to see where it's come and where you have personally taken it to is just so phenomenal, and a reason why I thought this is a need. This is a Mosaic Minute moment, right? And love that you're plugging Kim, because in 2 weeks she is also the star of the show in 2 weeks as well. So what are some of those trends that you are hearing? What are the needs that you're hearing, whether it's through our UKG, ERM Nation, whether it's from our clients? What are some of the trends that you're hearing around the need for training?
Some of the trends with training that we hear, a lot of times my team will get called in emergency situations where initially clients, when they purchase the UKG software itself with all the different modules that are available, they go through some administrative training, and they go through some courses that are free, that are very, very generalized out there, that are free to even their employees as well, that they can put together some training if they decide to. What we hear a lot of times is, as they're getting closer and closer to that go live date to launch this software, they've realized how big of a lift it is to try and create customized training when everyone that's going through this implementation is just learning the software as well. So they're unsure, is this the right way we're doing this? What should we be talking about? How will every team member in the system use this system? So one of the great things that we do is we help lift that burden off their shoulders. We get into the client's environments. We build training specifically in their environment So the training, the screenshots, the job aids, the videos, the playbooks we design for them, even the trainers or even end user training that we provide in person or virtually are set in their environment and not a general sample test environment. This is what you will see when you log in. This is where you will go. This is how you will use it. This is why you use this functionality based upon every client that we see. So the great thing is, even though we might have some templates and things like that to build off of, each set of training that we design is different every single time because not every client's going to use the software the exact same way.
I love hearing that. So when you say customize, it is truly customized to the client's needs, to their environment, specifically whatever that they are looking to be able to gain, that you have multiple resources available that you're able to not only plug and play, but be able to truly plug in what they need.
Exactly. And we take it another step further where we even do branding. So it looks like documents on their end. We even use their language and their policies. We ask for some of that information just to incorporate it and make everything that much more identical to what that client needs and wants are.
I love that. For anybody that's listening, if you have any questions or comments here, I know that this is a need that we continue to hear about, but we'd love to hear from you too. So I'll be monitoring those comments as we continue here with Ian. So appreciate that. So if you will talk a little bit too, what are some of the reasons why we have customers come to us around these training needs? Is there kind of something that's happened in their organization? Because I know we see it during the implementation process, but we also see it post-implementation. Especially, I feel like right past that year, there's there may have been some transitions or whatever that looks like. So why do clients come to us even post implementation?
Yeah, sometimes even after the implementation, even 6 months, a year and a half later, there could be changes on who the administrators are or the managers utilizing the system, or they just bring on some new folks altogether in any role, but they don't have any training for them to just go ahead and start to learn the system without having to take someone out of their company already to put them in there to spend that time. They may not have that time to do it. So we offer that opportunity as well to help lift that burden, to help make sure it's a personalized training, to make this transition, whether it be to new software or a new employee, so they don't feel threatened or scared by the new software or how to do something when they can spend more time focusing on the work that they need to do. So we make it easy for them to use this new software.
I love that. So for the audience, I was an HR professional for about 13 years. And I have gone through exactly what Ian is speaking to. I've implemented a new HR and payroll software, going from homegrown scratch, going over into a brand new environment. And I was servicing around 3,000 employees at the time in this past organization. And I had one other team member that was on board with me. This was during the ACA push out, right? And so great timing. Thank you. ACA was brand new and live. So the other additional individual that was working with me on my team was specifically for benefits, right? The benefit admin portion. So I had everything else. And so as we're going through this process and trying to understand, and answer all the questions and make sure that the system was ready to go, when it came to that go live date, that's when it really hit me that, so kind of speaking to what you're just speaking to, Ian, of that last minute emergency of, oh no, now I've got to make sure everybody's ready to use it. And fortunately for most of us, UKG does a great job to have a ton of free training available to their client base. And so we have clients all the time that utilize that. I have myself utilized that as well, as I've even implemented the UKG system in a past employer too. So what I love about this offering is it highlights that, but then it takes it an additional step further. And can you speak to the adoption rate or how we have seen clients based off of that customized training be able to take it even further into their organization when it comes to adoption?
Absolutely. So recently we had finished with a client that they're in the entertainment industry and they were running employees anywhere from the ages of 9 up to 90. So a wide range of audiences that will be using the system itself. And we were tasked to help design and build their training. And we did a train the trainer because they did have a team. They did have their own learning team within the company that was going to go out and train this material to those fellow team members out in the field. Well, having those different audiences and with so much that they were going to launch at once, they definitely felt that pressure because they were learning the system at the same time. But when we were in there building their customized training, having conversations with them, writing scripts and designing their training for them, we were able to give them all those materials even after our training was done with them, that they could physically take that material right out to the field. They didn't have to go out and build anything additional. So the only thing they were focused on was getting the right message across to those team members based off the training that we gave them. So they didn't have to worry about all that extra stuff of, oh, we have to put together this 70-page PowerPoint deck with a script on every single page and what we're going to do, how we're going to present this, and when do my clicks happen? When do I get into the live environment to show our team how to do it? We handled all that for them, including the communication plans that were coming out to get their team ready for this launch. So we helped them design email blasts, text blasts, posters that would go out, even postcards that would go out to the team at certain intervals before their launch date. That kind of gave them an upcoming, what to do, little small steps to do to prepare for the launch, even though the team overall on the corporate end had been working on probably for a year. We get them ready for these last 6-7 weeks up to the launch to start preparing their team that there's a change coming. And we want to make that transition as easy as possible. And with that training, adoption rates stay pretty high with that, because we make it as simple as possible for them. And with it being customized, there's no, oh, well, this is where you want to click here. You want to use this, but you won't see this on your screen because you don't have access to that. There's none of that. We take care of that because it's in their environment, branded just for them.
I love that. And so it really speaks to the change management meets training, meets communication plan, specifically around launching this piece of technology, which is amazing. I want to also fast forward. Part of the trends that I am hearing is we have new HR professionals that are taking that strategy role for their HR and payroll teams. We're hearing new IT leaders coming into play as well. We're also hearing where there has been turnover in the HR team, especially post a lot of the pandemic, and you had the Great Awakening. We had all of these different massive events that touched so many of our industries. And now you have brand new HR teams touching the software, whether they've used UKG or a completely different system, they're new to this environment. So now we're starting to hear that question. Do you provide customized boot camps where you come to me and my HR team and you are literally not only helping us figure out how to utilize it, but also can even help us with some of that training material afterwards? Is that something that you can also help our customers with?
Absolutely. Whether it be virtual, whether it be in person, you have that option to have us out there to help your teams on any level, even all the way up to the executive level if you'd like. We can train anyone, anywhere, anytime within this UKG software. So no ask is too big for my team here at Mosaic.
I love that. And just as we kind of close out here, as we're getting close to that 15-minute mark, I will say I'm going to ask Ian for his last piece of advice that he has for our audience. And before we jump into that, I will say this, that this tool is an investment, and it's there to actually make your people's strategy successful. And so if you need to make sure that the people touching it that are responsible and accountable for making sure that the data is accurate, that the people are paid on time, that the benefit information is absolutely correct and on time, you want to make sure that they know what they're doing, that they're confident. And that's one of our missions, is to make sure that our clients feel confident with the software. So this training, this customized training, adds to that success rate and adds to that confidence level. So I just will leave that. And so Ian, last piece of advice that you have for this audience today?
Don't put training as the last thing you think about when it comes to anything. Reason being, this will help alleviate turnover, which will save you a lot of money in the long run. It'll help people become comfortable in their job. So don't put training at the very end. Prioritize it near the top, especially for a new software coming out or for your new hires that are coming on board. The sooner you get them feeling comfortable of how to do their job or how to use the software or how to use equipment, the easier your life becomes as a company.
I love that. Well, I just want to thank the audience for coming and listening to us today. If you have any questions, we're available. I'm going to be putting in the chat in the comment box here where you're also able to reach back out to us. It's info@mosaic-cg.com. You're also able to reach out to myself or to Ian. It's kristen.sadler@mosaic-cg.com. Same thing for Ian, obviously, same format there. And again, going to put that information in the comment box here so that you have the ability to reach out to us afterwards. But we appreciate your time today and look forward to working with you soon. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.